So first thing, I'm gonna quickly look at the news for coming days. So we do have a Monday. So for Monday, we have a German info I for business climate index for Euro. Expected to drop, of course, because of the rising coronavirus cases in and all over the Europe. So that's expected to drop. Plus, we have new home sales. Quite important for in terms of to see how the economy is doing. So the people, of course, one of the major major benchmark usually economy is measured in by how many houses has been sold in that country, because it really does matter, because only people with good money can actually buy a house. It doesn't mean buying outright, it could mean a mortgage, that also comes into buying houses. So that's a good sentiment for economy. If it's more houses being bought, then uh, in September, month of September compared to month of August, that shows that coronavirus cases is going. I mean, it's not affecting the economy as much as they thought, and that could be a bullish signal for dollar. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this particular news on Monday. And then we're gonna go through another main news we're looking at in terms of, then we're gonna have on Wednesday we have a CAD interest decision on, I think it's Wednesday. Yes. Yep, this is Wednesday. Yep. So that's going to be important news for CAD. So we're going to be looking at some Canadian pair that day. We do not expect any rate cut. That's expected. I do not expect anyone to be cutting any more rates. 0.25% is already quite low in terms of Canadian dollar. So if there's any cut, Canadian dollar will actually plummet. It might plummet 100, 200 pips. So we're not going to be looking at any rate cuts. Yes, the important thing would be at this BOC press conference at 4:15. After the news comes out in about 1 hour 15 minutes, there's going to be after 1 hour 15 minutes, the news comes out, there's going to be a press conference. This is going to be more important because they're going to be talking about what they can expect if they say that they might be expecting to do a rate cut overall in coming weeks or months or years. That could send CAD tanking. But currently CAD is in a strong position. US dollar is looking stronger for CAD. So I mean, any decision would most likely send CAD tanking anyway. So we're going to be looking at how market behaves once that news comes out. Then we come to Thursday. As always, guys, the most important news of Thursday is this unemployment news that comes out every Thursday. The initial jobless claims. So this year jobless claims were quite low. I mean, this week, the week that was on this Thursday, jobless claims came good. So on that basis, we do have fairly decent jobless claims. So that was a good signal. That's why we did see DXY rise after that news came up. But we have a double big news on this Thursday. We have GDP plus jobless claims. So anything, they're expecting a very big rise. They're expecting a recovery of 31.9%. Again, if that happens, that's going to be crazy, guys. Dollar will go flying if that does happen. Low jobless claims plus higher GDP, that's going to be crazy, guys. So that's going to be quite important news. Then again, we have ECB interest decision, which is your interest decision. So Thursday is going to be probably the most volatile day of the week. So we're going to be closely watching how Thursday really reacts. And then Friday is going to be definitely slow, guys. Because the most likely what we can expect this week is that market will be quite slow. Starting the week will pick up Wednesday and Thursday, then probably will die out by the end of the week. So I'll be focusing mostly on Wednesday, Thursday, for in terms of trading strategies, because we said a lot more trading might be happening on Wednesday, Thursday compared to Monday and Tuesday, because market will be just building up for these 2 days of trading. So that's a news outlook. So let's quickly look at DXY right now. So DXY currently, yesterday when market closed, we did see a really bullish shooting star, which is this shooting star when market closed market closes about 10:45, but around 10 p.m. GMT, when the market was just about 30 minutes before the market closes, we did see a bullish shooting star. This could be a good signal. This could mean that when the market does open on a Sunday evening, we could see DXY rising and probably going as high as 92.80, which is also resistance. This EMA resistance on short time frame, and if that resistance breaks, we could see DXY rising. So let's talk about some key pairs that could affect if that does happen. So first, one of the main key pairs we always look at is GPUSD. So GPUSD, as we all know, after reaching the high of 1.3122 around this week, by end of this week it did do that, but then it fell all the way back to fell to 1.3016. So nearly it rose all the way from there, but then it fell even lower. So again, very strong support level right now with GP is testing. So overall, what could happen is when the market opens, if DXY does rise, we could see GP dropping here. But if DXY starts dropping, because it's still below a quite strong support level, so let's go back to DXY. So it's still below quite strong, support level. It has broken quite strong support level. The next support level it will find is all the way back, this gap. So we could see, DXY dropping back to lows of 92.65. So that could be a possible, support level for DXY to be tested again. And if that happens, guys, we could see GP actually rising quite strongly all the way as high as 1.06. But if DXY does decide to go up, then we could see more bearish momentum in GPSD, and the support level of 1.3020 will be really critical support level, because it hasn't broken this level around 3-4 times. So 1 time, 2, 3, about 4 times it has been retested but hasn't been broken. But if it does break, then there's a free fall all the way back to low of 1.2973. So we'll be clearly and closely watching how the support level reacts at 1.3019. So that would be a good support level for us to watch out for and see how the market really reacts at that support level, guys. So another major pair we'll be looking at is EURUSD. So EURUSD, again, as we all know, because of the market, DXY and DXY drops, EURUSD rises. That's the common pair. That's the way we look at the market. When DXY is rising, EURUSD is dropping. When DXY is dropping, EURUSD is rising. That's most of the case, because in DXY, the biggest currency basket, the biggest currency is measured against is euro. So DXY is about 40%. The currency basket of DXY is euro. Then we have other currencies, other 26 other currencies is measured against. So it's really important to look at how DXY is doing to really know what the EURUSD is going to be moving. So again, in terms of price action, we can see that EURUSD is testing a very strong resistance level of 1.1864. Again, if I just zoom out, let's go to a longer time frame and see how price has been reacting to this level. So last time the price was here was 21st of October. Then it actually fell all the way back to 1.1769. And let's go a bit more back in time. 21st September. Price was here and it dropped. So we can clearly see that from in a longer time frame, that every time price switches this level, it does drop from here. So we can see that we can see some kind of pullback, because as soon as the market reached this level, we can see that price the buyers got exhausted straight away. That's a signal that buyers actually stop taking any more buy positions and they go out the trade. This could be most likely because they know this is a quite strong support level, a resistance level, and there could be quite a strong selling pressure available be present at this level. So they stop taking the buy position and they're just hanging on right now. So when the market opens, it'll be really important for us to see how this level gets reacted at, because if DXY does start rising as we're expecting it to, because of the shooting star it created on a short time frame, 15-minute time frame, that could see USD plummeting all the way back to lows of 1.1839. So yes, guys, USD could be really volatile. Plus we have a big news on Wednesday, as we saw earlier. On Thursday, the ECB interest decision. Any talk about lowering lowering interest rates to zero or even a negative interest rate will send euro flying down, guys. So if that happens, if there's a talk of interest decision going in minus, we could see euro dropping all the way back to 1.800. So 61 pip could be a drop in euro, because last time when that happened, we did see euro rise about 60 pip, then drop another 60 pip. So we'll be carefully watching how euro reacts to that news. But euro will be really volatile. That's one of the key pairs we'll be looking over this week, because of the Brexit issue as well. So GP and euro and Britain Brexit deal is going on. I think they're on the last leg for the trade deal talk. So anything that happens over the trade deal and plus interest decision will really affect USD in coming days. Another major pair, of course, we're going to be looking at gold right now. So gold currently testing a very strong resistance of this 50 MA, below this 50 MA short time frame. Let's go to a longer time frame now to see. So longer time frame, gold is looking kind of a bearish. We can clearly see that after testing the level of 1904, has dropped quite strongly back to lows of currently the price closed at 1902. So still above 1900. So that's a good signal, guys. As long as price is above 1900, we expect gold to rise. As long as price doesn't break the 1900 support level, gold is still a good buy. Because if it does break the 1900 support level, guys, then it's gonna drop. It's gonna drop quite heavy. It can go as low as 1890, 1877, or even as low as 1871. So that's why, as long as price is above 1900, we could see gold rising back to highs of 1912 and 1915. It did do this week. It did rise all the way back to 1931. So that could be another target. We could see that gold rising to by the end of by the end of this month close. So we'll be closely watching how the gold really reacts to this current market conditions. So that's one of the key pairs we're watching. So those are the only three key pairs we'll be looking over, guys, because of the volatility in the market. So when market is volatile, it's better to look at small. It's better not to keep your watch list really long, because when there's volatility in the market, you do want to catch the trends. You want to get the market as soon as you can, get in, get out. So if you have too many pairs you're looking at, then you'll be lagging behind, because sometimes volatility is higher at some pairs and not in other pairs. So you don't want to get caught in that kind of a situation. So what I tell you is just keep it short. Look at major pairs: USD, GPSD, gold. I think these three pairs would be really good for us for next week to trade, and they could bring us good profits. All right, guys, again now. So again, I'm going to give you an update on what's happening with the US election. So currently what's happening with the US election is that, Biden, who's the what's it called, opponent against Trump, is currently ahead in the polls. So that's a good sign for dollar, but not a very good sign for stock market, because of the corporate tax. He's going to be increasing corporate tax in coming days. In coming days, going to be increasing the corporate tax, and that's not a good sign. So that's why we did see, stock market actually plummeting when the polls are saying that Biden could win. The election just in about 2 weeks now. So in November, there's going to be elections. So if Biden does win, that's going to be a strong sign for dollar. So dollar will be really strong if he does win. And if he loses, then dollar will become less stronger, and the stocks will rise because of the Trump. Trump is more of a corporate guy. He likes to help businesses more than normal public. We have already seen that. So, but Biden is more of a family man. He's more of a public person. So he wants big companies to pay more tax so he can help out the less fortunate. So that's gonna be a really volatile period in the market. So we're gonna be keeping a close eye on USD, DXY, and gold. These three will be the most volatile pair of all of them. So keeping a close eye how this gold really affects how this election really affects the market. So again, we do have a request that somebody wants to look at ADSD. So let's look at ADSD. ADSD is not as volatile as GPSD or any other pair this week, because there's no major news for AUD. Plus, it has a bank holiday on Monday, so we do not expect any momentum in ADSD as the market opens. But overall, on a longer time frame, it's currently above this 50 MA, which is a good sign. As long as price is above 50 MA, that's a strong signal that price is most likely going to go up from here on out. So we can expect ADSD to rise maybe as high as 0.7163, which is about 20-25 pip movement. And once the price reaches here, it's a very strong resistance. We can clearly see that price was here on 14th of October as well, about 10 days before this, and it dropped quite strongly. So we could see some pullback at this level, but if it does break, then we could see the next resistance level will be at 0.7199. So keeping a close eye on ADSD at this level. So right now, I would not recommend entering a trade. I would want to wait a trade to reach the level of 0.7162 first. Then I want to see how the trade really reacts at this level. If there's a bearish momentum, I will sell from here. But if it does break and there's a breakout, then I will buy from here. So, but I will wait and let's see the price. Let the price play out at this level of 0.7164. All right, guys. Now, if you have any questions about the EA, please do ask me right now, and you know how to join it and what kind of. If you have any questions about EA, basically, just you can ask me right now, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. All right, so yeah, there's no minimum balance to start with. We recommend £1,000. Why is that? Because if you want to grow, if you want to use a proper risk management on an account, because this EA, how it works is basically a scalping strategy EA. So let me just explain what it means basically. So when the price is, let's say when the price is dropping, what does this EA does? It buys. So it's gonna buy. Why does it do that? Because look what happened. Exactly, this is why it does it. So when you buys, it gets ready for the pullback. So when the pullback happens, there's it's a really amazing strategy, because in market, a trend never happens. The market would never go up. It won't just go up like this. The market would never just rise all the time. That doesn't happen. What happens is it rises, pulls back, rises, pulls back. That's what you call a trend. A pullback. A trend without a pullback is not a really healthy trend. What's going to happen is it's going to fall as GPSD. Let me show you what happened with GPSD this week, guys. So again, market rose. You see the market rising, hardly any pullback for 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 candles. There was no pullback. Then look at the drop, and it dropped even stronger, right? So if a trend without a pullback is not a good trend. Do not enter the trend. It can, dropping. It can start dropping anytime. But a trend which is a pullback. So for example, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's a healthy trend. Now that trend shows you that the market is going to keep going up, because every time pullback happens, more buyers come in the market to push the price up, and that's what the EA does basically. It's a pullback strategy, EA. So what it does is when market is rising, it's selling. So when the pullback happens, it starts taking profit. So all the sell trades, it starts closing, and when the market's dropping, is buying. So what it does buy and sell at the same time. So when market is rising, it's selling. When market is dropping, is buying, because it knows when the market starts rising, it's going to start closing all the buy trades and start stacking up the sell trades. So it does it so quick. It can take up to 13 to 14, even 15, 16 trades a day, guys. And it's amazing. And it uses proper risk management. So if you have £1,000 account, we have seen some people making profits up to, 30, 40, £50 on a very volatile day. It can make you up to £50 a day on a £1,000 account. It's really that easy. So again, if you do want more info about the EA, please do ask us. You can always message me and on Instagram, on WhatsApp, any way you want, and we'll be more than happy to help you about this EA. Again, it's no upfront cost, so we do not ask for any money upfront. You don't have to pay us anything. We give you a trial, so there's a 1 week trial available with this EA. So for 1 week, all the profits we make for you is yours. We do not even take a penny. Then after that is a profit split of 60-40, where 60% goes to you. So we take the less cut and we give you 60%. Of the profits, and that profit is all from the profits. So it's not from you don't have to pay us any fee basically. So we have to make you money for us to make money, so we have to make you money to get paid. If we don't make you money, we're not going to get paid. It's simple as that. So that's the best thing about the CA. There's no monthly cost, no monthly fee. Plus it comes a trial. So 1 week you can see how it works. And if you don't like it, you can always opt out. There's no payment. There's no fee, right? So that's the best thing. So again, if you do want to join EA, if you can't trade yourself, if you have issues trading, sometimes people can't take signals because they're working and they have, different work hours, different shift hours. So what you got to do, you got to, but you still want to take signals, but you can't take signals. The best thing is to do EA. And if you have 1 week trial, you can see how the EA worked for that 1 week. And if it gives you enough profit, more profit than you were taking signals, then why not join the EA? So guys, give it a try if you're interested. And again, if you have any more questions about EA, I'm more than happy to help you guys with any questions you have about this service. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. And hopefully we have a good trading week next week. Thank you.